Hey guys, welcome to my space. Today I'll be covering a topic which is cells in your body. Cells in your body. You must have seen my new logo, which is in top right corner. Let's start. Contents: introduction, red blood cells, white blood cells, muscle cells, nerve cells, bone cells, and conclusion. So introduction. I'm going to introduce the topic of cells. So a cell is the basic unit of life. Okay. All living things are made up of cells, and cells are the smallest units that can perform all the functions of life. Functions of life, as in hearing, smelling, tasting, eating, uh, d- uh, exhaling, breathing, thinking of anything. Now, cells come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and they are found in all parts of the body. There are two main types of cells: prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells are the simplest types of cells. They are found in bacteria, while eukaryotic cells are more complex than these cells, the last type of cells, and they are found in plants, animals, and other multicellular organisms. These are we are also a part of them. Some types of cells are red blood cell, white blood cell, muscle cell, bone blood cell, and nerve cell. And I will be covering all of them. Red blood cells. Red blood cells are the most common type of blood cells in the entire body. They are responsible for carrying oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body. So they pretty much keep us alive. Red blood cells are made up of bone marrow and have a lifespan of 120 days. That explains why is this so common. Now, you must be underlining the point bone marrow. So you can go back to my video bones in your body. I've clearly stated that bone marrow is in every part of your bone. It's in the middle of the bone and creates these blood cells, not cells, blood cells. Which means white blood cells are also created through bone marrow. Yes. Red blood cells contain a protein hemoglobin, which binds to the oxygen in the lungs and releases it into tissues throughout the body. Hemoglobin is made out of iron, which gives red blood cells their red color. Red blood cells also play a role in removing carbon dioxide and exhaling it from the body. So, carbon dioxide is basically a waste produced by the cells during metabolism. So, the lungs is the place where it is exhaled. And now you must be asking me again, what is metabolism? Metabolism is basically when, let's take an example of glucose. Glucose is a bit in every part, in every food. So while eating it, when the food is absorbed, the glucose is not usable, is it's not in a usable form. So metabolism is the place where you use energy to break glucose to carbon dioxide and water with some minerals and nutrients helping our body. And now since the carbon dioxide is the waste, it is given to the red blood cells. Done. So that's how the process is done. That is metabolism. White blood cells. So white blood cells have like five types: neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, lymphophils, and lymphocytes and monocytes. But so neutrophils, they are the first one to respond to an infection and help. Not it doesn't do the thing entirely. It helps to engulf and destroy the bacteria. But the white blood cells help help to fight parasites and allergic reactions. So if you're allergic to anything, you should have more of eosinophils. Basophils, these white blood cells made which helps to cause in inflammation. Lymphocytes, these white blood cells help to produce antibodies which fight the infection. So the lymphocyte is the same thing that a normal injection does. Uh, Monocytes, these are white blood cells that can develop into macrophages and engulf and destroy bacteria and other foreign particles. So neutrophils help monocytes to destroy and engulf the bacteria. So basically, white blood cells is the army of your body. It does not allow anything bad to happen to you. Not mentally. Uh, Now let's move on. Muscle cells. The function of muscle cells is to contract, which allows for movement. There are three types of cells: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscles are attached to the bones to allow voluntary movement. Now, what is voluntary movement? Voluntary movement is this movement that your naked eye can see. Cardiac muscle cells make up the heart and allow the heart to pump blood. So without this, we'll probably not be able to live. So cardiac makes the heart pump. So now let's move on. Smooth muscle cells are found in the walls of hollow organs such as stomach and intestine, allow for the movement of food and waste to these organs. Basically, basically this means that um, that how does the food from your mouth go to the esophagus? How does the food from the esophagus go to the stomach? The stomach to the small intestine to large intestine. How is this happening? Because of the push of these smooth muscle cells inside the walls of an organ, of every organ. Now, muscle cells contract when they receive a signal from nerve cells. Okay, nerve cells we'll be talking in this video. So, the signal causes the release of calcium ions, which bind to proteins in muscle cells. This binding causes the proteins to change shape, which in turn causes the muscle cell to shorten. The amount of force that a muscle cell can generate depends on the number of muscle fibers that are contracting. The more muscle fibers that contract, the greater force is generated. Now if you're a strong person, you obviously have more muscle fiber cells. An average person has average amount of fiber cells, and a weak person will have very less fiber cells. Nerve cells. So nerve cells, also known as neurons, are the basic units of the nervous system. They are responsible for sending and receiving information throughout the body. Neurons have three main parts: the cell body, dendrites, and the axons. The cell body contains nucleus and other organelles. The dendrites are short branching fibers that receive information from other neurons, and the axon is a long, thick fiber that carries the information away from the cell body. So this is basically a telephone, receiving and sending system throughout your body. Now, here are some specific functions of the nerve cells. They detect sensations of light, sound, touch, taste, smell, pain, motor control, movement of muscles, thought, thinking, memory, learning, decision making. Emotions is like such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and then comes hemostasis. This is to maintain the body's internal environment, such as regulating heart rate, blood pressure, and the body temperature. Bone cells, the last type of cells, there are four types of these cells. So, osteoblasts, osteocytes, and osteoclasts, and of course, bone lining cells. Each type of cell has a specific function in the formation, maintenance, and repair of bone. Stents, so osteoblasts sense and respond to mechanical stress. Osteocytes maintain the bone by regulating the mineral content of the matrix and by sensing and responding to mechanical stress. Breaking down bone by secreting acids and enzymes that dissolve the bone matrix. And then bone lining cells protect the bone from damage and regulate the exchange of nutrients and waste products between bone and the blood. The bone cells are essential for life. Without them, we would not be able to maintain a healthy skeleton. So, that this means that we will be breaking our bones every now and then. Some ways, so red blood cells. Now, red blood cells carry oxygen to the body's tissues. White blood cells uh, fight infection. Muscle cells contract to create movement. Nerve cells transmit information throughout the body. So these are pictures of all the types of cells. Now, so why are all these cells important for us? So they help us in growth and development, repair. They help us for immunity, sensation and movement, of course, thought. So, also, it's my space. Subscribe now. Please subscribe to this channel. This is for educate. This is for educational purpose. As you can see the logo. Thank you. Now stay tuned for my next video.